So this is not going to be a regular episode, by the way.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a mini episode.
¿Porque no es chisme o qué?
No, sí es chisme. Pero it's not going to follow. Of course. It's not going to follow our typical format. So it's like a mini episode. Estaba pensando un pedito.
Sí.
Exactamente. Dude, all I had to go was like this y tú, un pedito. Sí, instead of a little mini podcast.
Un pedito. That's funny. ¿Podito?
Podito. No. Ajá, pensaba en podito. Y dije, that sounds like pedito.
Yeah.
But if you have better suggestions, please.
Pedito is kind of funny.
You know.
It's kind of cute.
Un pedito. Welcome to...
That's how you fart.
You don't want to know. That's not the theme. It's not farting sounds. Un pedito. Pero, okay, I want to talk about en este primero pedito.
El primer pedito.
That you and I this week did something pretty rad.
Radical.
También radical.
No, that's what rad stands for.
Oh.
That's what I call a dirty moment, because this is a good story. I know it's off topic, but one time I was like washing the dishes and then I was like, dang, the sink's really dirty, because I had just moved a plant and I dropped it, so there was dirt everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dang, it's really dirty. And I was like, dirt, because there's dirt. And it's like, is that where dirty comes from? Like, with dirt? And then I was like, wait, sandy? Like, it has sand? Like, the E is, you know?
And you were mind blown?
And I told Charles, I was like, did you know?
Did you know that words are used to describe?
They're from something? And he's like, yeah. So that's a dirty moment. Okay. Rad is from radical. Yeah.
And you claimed it as a dirty moment because of your epiphany.
Because of the dirt E, yeah. Hole E. It's because it has holes. Well, not the other kind of holy, you know.
Qué tonta. Bueno.
Anyway.
Okay, radical.
We're pretty rad.
Yeah. So I had the opportunity to go for the third time up to Sacramento, our state capital.
Ooh.
To lobby, advocate for our ocean. So I work for a national nonprofit, but I managed the San Diego chapter of this national nonprofit focused on ocean conservation, environmentalism, et cetera, et cetera. Super stoked. This year, instead of lobbying, ay, ¿quién me llama?
¿Te llama?
Unknown number.
Scam.
Instead of lobbying, like I usually have like a list of priority bills that we're going to advocate for, I got to be the MC for the lunch portion of the event.
Wow.
And was like maybe it averages of like between 150 to 250 people that are part of our whole group, because it's multiple organizations. I don't know whose idea was it to give me a mic at the state capitol.
Was it a mic or was it a megaphone?
It was a microphone. I had a podium y todo.
Wow.
Bien chingona.
Wow.
You did the federal.
I talked to my congressman.
Congressman.
I don't know why I said it like that. Congressman. Like he was a founding father or something.
Of what?
The country. Congressman. Yeah, who I've never talked to before. That's probably not good to say, but yeah, I got on a Zoom call with Scott Peters.
El Peters.
Y también con el Vargas.
Sí, el Juan Vargas.
Pero él no vino su rep.
Ah, yeah.
Which rep is for representative.
I know that.
Okay.
Tonta. Te crees ya bien enlightened.
Bien dirty.
Te crees muy.
Unless you're talking about like a bad rep, which
you learned. I taught you his reputation.
His reputation, yeah.
Anyway. Estás aquí aprendiendo. That's what
it's or yellow.
English language learner. Well, you said I shouldn't probably say that, but the reality is I don't know how often constituents talk to their representatives.
Right. Which constituents was a difficult word for me to say. That was part of my like script that I wanted to say, like, hey, I'm your constituent.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important for us to feel comfortable with it, because when I first went to Sacramento and did all of this, I felt super intimidated and nervous,
Scary.
and it was scary, intimidating. And then I was like, wait a minute. They work for us.
Yeah.
Why am I feeling intimidated? Here are the things that matter to me that I want you to work on. And that changed my whole perspective. Porque we're their job security. If we don't like the work they're doing, we can vote you out.
Dicen.
Según. Es lo que dicen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's important to kind of pull on that example of white people around us and the caucasity that they have sometimes, right? Because sometimes they say things and you're like, you're saying that to a congressman. I say it like that. It's like, wait, this is a leader. This is a person of authority. ¿Y qué dijiste? Like, ¿le dijiste su verdad?
¿A quién? Oh, sí, cuando estás hablando con ellos. Yeah.
Sí.
Like, we need your support in this because of this, and that.
Yeah. And then some people like even say, like you were saying, like we voted you in and we can vote you out. And you're like, oh.
Even if you didn't vote for
Nadie
them,
dijo
you
eso,
can
pero-
still
Yeah.
vote. Voting is important. I don't think people realize that.
Locally, más que nada.
Sí. I think that was a powerful moment for me when I came to that realization of like, actually,
I'm the best.
I'm the boss. So for me this year, what was different was that I got to introduce some pretty influential people in our state legislature this year. And I don't know if it was subconscious, but I was intentionally asking them, maybe it wasn't intentional, but I was going up to them and being like, you're so-and-so, right? And how do I pronounce your name? I just want to make sure I get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I genuinely am really bad at pronouncing names. Like, I'm confident when it comes to Spanish names, but English names?
Congressman.
Sí, exactamente. But, sometimes we get the microaggression of like, oh, how do you pronounce that? So I don't know if I was doing it on purpose, but I thought it was funny. At the very end,
Was it like John Smith?
No.
That would have been funny.
No, espera,
Like,
hablando
how
de
do
John.
you pronounce that?
Hablando de John, I introduced someone named Jenna or Jen as John. And she works for the governor.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I am so sorry.
Qué pena.
Que enfrente de todos. Y dije, I'm a self-diagnosed dyslexic. I'm so sorry. I read John. But apparently she loved me, so it was fine. Pero después del evento, I was like, I'm keeping them humble.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a problem unless it's like something like John Smith, although I think that would be really funny.
It wasn't John Smith.
Okay.
No, they both, the ones that I was asking for clarification, like, had two words combined in the last name, like Huckleberry or something
Huckleberry
like that.
Finn.
You know what I mean? Do I make sense?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, I know what I mean. Hopefully everyone else understands what I mean. But when I see two in English, two words like combined, like, is there a silent H in this that I'm not hearing?
The classic silent H.
See. So that was fun. And of course I brought my Latina flair and I mentioned Bad Bunny. But it resonated with people to the point where we have a funder for one of the campaigns that we're doing. They heard about it and they weren't even there. They heard about my emceeing skills.
Hey, well, if anyone's looking for MC.
MC1, MC2.
Yeah.
But tell me about how it was like for you.
So I was pretty scripted just because what I was talking about is not something I work with every day.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about NOAA, National Oceanic and administration.
I should know this.
You should know this. You work in that space. But it's basically a federal entity that funds different programs so that we can have data on rising ocean levels, on flooding, on erosion, on all these things that are super important and are becoming more and more important every year.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to defund it, right?
Mhm.
And like not have it at all,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
It's
It
bonkers.
also like you get the weather
bare minimum.
stuff.
Yeah, it's the weather, but they do a lot. So NOAA stands for National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration,
I
which
was
I've
close.
never called it that. But when I hear NOAA, I know what it.
Oh,
what
you
it-
know what I did? 'Cause I started singing, "Ahí viene Noah, 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 Noah," and nobody got it.
Yeah, I can't say I know that one.
No,
No.
Juan Gabriel.
Ah, pues por eso. Se está riendo de mí, ¿verdad?
Vamos
No.
al Noah, Noah.
I had an acronym and it was OSEA. And I was like, OSEA.
Anyway, so I really wanted to make sure I got the name right. I wanted to make sure I got what they do correctly. And so it was really scripted. And I was just reading off because it was Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just reading off my screen. But I did feel like I had two different experiences. So for the first one, it was actually the rep, and his last name was Carrillo. So
Oh, in
then it
serio?
was really funny because when I was introducing myself, I was like, I'm Maricruz Carrillo, primo. And then he started laughing. So it was like a lot more casual. You know, it was the rep, it was a Carrillo. So then he's like,
Le diste carrilla.
Yeah, le di carrilla, and like he's here from San Diego, so like he's like, "Sí, a lo mejor sí somos primos, you know, like maybe we are cousins." So it was kind of fun, and like I went through my spiel, and then he's like, "I hear you. Yes, I know Congressman is gonna be on board. This wasn't in our radar, so this is awesome. Thank you for telling us and all these things." And with the second one, that it was actually the congressman.
Let's just keep it. It's funny. Keep doing it.
It feels weird to say congressman, not mon. Anyway,
So Jamaican.
yeah, I don't know. And that was weird. I don't know if it's because he's
The
I don't
actual
know.
rep
Yeah,
instead of the staffer.
right. It's actually the congressman. I was like, I don't know. I went through my script, but I feel like he wasn't like really listening. Like when like he would be like, yeah, when I would say like, oh, they monitor weather, whatever. And he would be like, yeah, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to finish my
Don't interrupt.
spiel. Don't interrupt me with my yeah, yes, yeah. Oh, I know that. And it's like, let me talk. Let me finish. And then didn't really say anything. And then started chiming in for the Digital Coast Act. And so once she got through that, then he had like input. And then afterwards, it was a white man giving his message. And I feel like he was so attentive. Like he didn't interrupt him at all. He was just kind of nodding his head. And then had a lot. He's like, I really appreciate your involvement and your volunteer time. Like, this is how we get things across and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow. ¿Qué pedo?
No, it's
¿Qué pedito?
I think we're gonna keep que pedito. Que pedito. I had a experience last year with my rep, assembly member Ward, and his staff. Assembly member wasn't there, but his staffer was there, and it was very engaging. Like, yeah, of course, like they're champions for the work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But then we went to a different rep who was more conservative, and they were inland, and what bothered me is they kept kind of like pushing on the student that we had in our delegation, a younger woman. And I was getting a little protective,
Yeah.
protective mama. I was like, I also have things to say, but also why do you keep pushing her on this one topic as if you're trying to teach her a lesson, a life lesson, when really you're like kind of being rude about it and boosting your own ego.
Yeah.
But she handled it like a champ and she knew her shit. So yeah, it's interesting to see the way that they engage with different people.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, it's important for us to voice our experiences and our stories, especially to these individuals like that are in power.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the people power to implement change and influence change. And I specifically picked you and our other friend because you're Latinas, super smart, and I wanted that representation in our delegation in San Diego.
Yeah.
And at one point, the person that was leading the national Hill Day said, well, maybe because you weren't responding because you were busy or something. And then I had to be like, hey. They're like, well, maybe it's fine because the San Diego team is too big. I was like, no, I picked these two people for a reason. I mean, they have no idea what you look like or who you are. But I was like, I picked these two people for a reason and they represent communities that need to be represented. So we're going to keep them on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I'm so proud of the two of you and thank you so much for doing it.
Yeah. Killed it too.
She's a chingona like that. Yeah. So
Cool.
that was just a little story I wanted to share. Oh, maybe like how to get involved. So find your rep, first of all. Know who's your representative.
Yeah,
so you
Google
can literally Google it, find my rep. And there's opportunities for you to, you don't have to be in Sacramento or go to Washington, D.C. to engage with them. You can pick up the phone and call and say, my name is so-and-so. I am a constituent or whatever his name is, my representative. And here are the things that I want you to vote on, what's important to me because of X, Y, and Z. And use your voice.
One thing I learned is that sometimes they just don't know about the issue or the bill that we're trying to push. So sometimes it's all about just like, hey, just wanted to bring this to your radar because I know you're going to support it. It's just you might have not heard of it.
Yeah, and we're the experts on the ground because these people are sometimes thousands of miles away and they should listen to us. They should. Yeah. Okay. But I will acknowledge one last thing. We've been excluded from that space, right? And sometimes it's not safe. It can get racist. I heard a story this weekend from the founder of Azul where she was trying to bring that people power to, like, years ago, to make a public comment. And the comments that people from our community got were like, I'm going to call, trigger warning, like, I'm going to call immigration on you. Like, you shouldn't be here. You don't belong here. Go back to where you were from.
That's rude.
So fucking rude. Kids are creen.
Yes.
So, just know your limits, maybe.
Yeah.
Go with friends. Don't go alone.
And I think a lot of it also comes down to we're freaking busy. And a lot of people of color are so busy and have so much on their brain and life that sometimes it feels like, am I gonna really waste? I mean, it was a whole day, right, to go to Sacramento.
Oh,
for me, it was only like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah,
of my life,
of your life online.
But sometimes it's like, oh, is it really worth it? Are they even gonna listen?
Mm-hmm.
But I think they do.
Yeah, which is a good transition into the other thing, el otro pedito que quería hablar.
Okay. Are we moving on to the next?
Sí. Are you okay?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm great.
So, on my way to Sacramento, I had to take a plane, to get there. And the same day that I was flying was the same day that I had pre-sale access to buy Carol G tickets. And I want to share, just so you know what I went through.
I don't know this story, by the way. So this is going to be great.
Buckle up.
The only thing I know is that our other friend was also in line, and he was like 134,000 in line.
See,
And I was like, what the heck? What does that even mean? Like, how do you... Anyway,
yeah, I don't know
I'll
that
let you
part.
tell the story. Because you
So-
were like at 3,400.
I started at 56,000.
This is the wait line. Like, she was in queue.
This is the wait line to get into another wait line to buy tickets.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I guess Karol G is popping right now.
See, I mean, we've been fans for a while.
Yeah.
So, but it's my first concert that I've been to her, that I'm going to go to hers. Let me set the scene. Get out of my Uber. Arrive to the airport. When I arrived, there was people outside of the airport, and I was worried. That's the TSA line. Crap. Good thing I have TSA pre-check. Pero there was a huge crowd outside the airport. I get off, and then I start hearing people say they're not letting anyone in. We were evacuated. There's some security breach. Yo, fuck. I need to go through TSA.
To get on the Wi-Fi.
My flight was at 12:30, and the pre-sale started at noon.
Dang.
And I didn't. This is my first time ever doing anything like this, so I had no idea what to expect. I was waiting outside for maybe like 30 minutes. Okay, so we made it inside. Got through TSA pre-check. Found my volunteers that I was traveling with. I didn't have a seat, so I didn't know what gate I was supposed to go to. The screen that tells you departures had a different gate than what the person I was with had on her ticket. She had an assigned seat versus what we were getting over text message. So there were 3 potential gates. So we go to the gate that we think, okay, this is the one. And then they make an announcement. Oh, it's actually this other gate. So we're like, okay, we have about an hour and a half before we even have to be at the gate. So let's go find somewhere to go. And one volunteer was like, oh, I'm at the Chase Sapphire Lounge. I can get you guys in. I immediately thought of you because that's one of the reasons you wanted.
VIP.
Yeah, you wanted the card. It's a nice lounge.
It's a nice lounge.
And we show up, and there's a person at the elevator doesn't let you in unless you're on a list. Well, anyway, long story long, we get in, and I sit down, and I immediately pull out my phone. At the same time, my cousin in LA also had the same link, and then she realized that she got in too early, and like she needed a code to actually buy the tickets. So false alarm number 1. It's 12 o'clock. I log in, and I'm like 56,000 in line to get in, and she was closer to like 20,000 or 30,000. Pero por una hora que estamos en el lounge, you have to wait till the number goes down till you're number 0 to actually get in to look for your tickets.
Yeah.
My phone was dying this whole time. Our flight kept getting delayed. La otra cosa es, andaba con puros güeros. So they didn't understand how excited I was. Cuando mencioné que era Karol G, they're like, oh, okay. Y yo, oof. Oof. And then one of them's like, so how do you feel about Becky G? Like, I know that one. I'm like, yeah, she cool. I like her.
She alright.
I think he was just trying to relate, but I was like, I'm talking about Karol G right now.
Yeah.
¿Qué pasó luego?
¿Y luego? Your phone died.
Tickets were selling out for Friday. I got a text message from my cousin saying that she was almost in. She got in, but there were
no seats.
Like something would pop up, you would click on it, and then it would disappear. It was insane. And then we got a text message saying that she had opened a Saturday date, which I think was already the plan. They just try to make it super scarce and people freak out. All right, so it was time to leave the lounge to get to our plane. I got in. My friend was like, you got really quiet. What's going on? And I was like, oh, I was like a passenger princess just following them when I should be the one leading. Because I'm the boss and they're the volunteers and I should be leading the way.
You're like, just hold on to me and drag me.
I was just following them. Y yo acá bien intensa tratando de buscar boletos. And I couldn't get any. And then we got to our gate and our flight got canceled.
So you could have stayed in the lounge.
I could have stayed in the lounge.
Mm.
So then
And
they told
focus.
us to go to a different gate to rebook.
You're like, I can't do that right now.
Yes, exactly what happened. I kept switching tabs, and my volunteer was like, "Oh, you got insurance for the flight?" I was like, "Yeah, like just in case something like this would happen." And he's like, "What does it cover?" I was like, "I don't know."
I'm busy.
Yeah, see, empezó a decir, "It's okay, Joanna. I'll handle the chapter operations. You worry about getting your tickets." Like he was being sarcastic and funny at the same time.
Yeah,
I was like, "That would be great. Thank you."
You're like, I don't know if you're kidding, but do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
You're a big boy. You can, yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. The same guy that got us into the lounge. Y yo, okay, y luego, cuando estamos en línea, mi prima me llama y yo, chingados quieres, estoy ocupada. She's like, yo, my friend got in. How many tickets? 4? I was like, well, if she can get 6, that would be better because I want Maricruz to come. She's like, okay. And I just hear her friend in the background yelling, like cursing at Ticketmaster because it wasn't working. Like she couldn't get the payment to process or no sé qué.
Yeah.
And then she was like, is it okay if it's in the nosebleeds? Like, I know I'm terrified of heights. And not to be bougie, but even at Petco Park, like I can't go past the 200 levels. I get really nervous. It's so steep in the 300 levels. Mari, en serio, me pongo bien nerviosa.
So funny.
Me pongo bien nerviosa.
I didn't know that's about you.
Yeah, you don't know I'm scared of heights?
Yeah, I know you were scared of heights, but not like in a stadium.
Yeah. It's scary
like,
up there.
There's no drop.
Mijita, have you been up the stairs? They like incline. It's terrifying.
You're gonna have to keep this in because I feel like people are gonna be like, "What the?"
People who are scared of heights will understand me.
Okay,
it's scary up there in the nosebleeds.
Okay, y entonces dijo no nosebleeds. Le dijiste no.
Pues no me iba a poner mis moños porque la amiga estaba, like, okay, mijita, whatever you could get.
Yeah. But what was happening on your phone?
So I got great question. So since I couldn't get tickets, I got a automated link to the Saturday one. So I left the Friday one and went to the Saturday one and was like 20,000 in line or something. And my phone at this point was maybe like a 20% and I couldn't find anywhere to charge it. So I was waiting to get in to buy the tickets. I'll speed up to where called the lift because my coworker and I went to the hotel across the street. But todo el tiempo was like, if you don't hear me talking to you, it's because I'm getting, As soon as we arrived to the hotel, I get in. Y me empieza a preguntar preguntas y yo, estoy ocupada. You can figure it out. I will follow you. We get in. I was just trying to find like 4 seats or 6 seats. I was trying for 6 seats. And nothing was popping up that was like reasonable. And I was panicking. I was like, I don't want anything to be sold out. So I was focused. Okay, finally I found 4 seats. I was like, these seem fine. I don't know where they are. I'm gonna get 4 seats together. Then I go purchase. My card isn't in there.
Tonta.
Sí, Mari. Pro tip. Add your card ahead of time.
Pro tip.
Okay, I went in. My bank thought it was a scam. Someone was trying to steal money from me.
Classic.
So it was like $2,000.
Yeah. What the heck?
And I was like, oh, denied. Okay, I pulled out another card. A coworker was looking at me like, are you okay? You're very quiet. It looks stressful. And then, okay, I got it all in. And it said, purchase complete. And I was like, I got it. She's like, you got it? I was like, yeah, I got it. And then we start jumping up and down. She's like, what did you get? I was like, I don't know. I just know I have 4 tickets. How much did you pay? I don't know.
I just was over $2,000.
And then I text you.
Yeah. Pinchi.
Y tú, I'll pay whatever.
Yeah, I'll pay whatever. But then she's like, it was $5.45 each. I'm like, oh, shit. I know I said whatever, but dang. That's
I literally rolled my eyes when I got your message. I was like, ¿los quieres o no? No estés chingando.
It's Was that necessary? Almost $600 tickets.
Apparently, I got VIP.
You got VIP, so that's okay.
I don't know what it means, but I got some type of VIP.
It's a different entrance, right?
Sí, según.
Dicen.
¿Quién sabe? Nunca he ido a SoFi, ¿cómo se dice?
SoFi Stadium.
Yeah. So that was my roller coaster. I got to Sacramento, by the way, on the 9 o'clock flight, but it was intense. It was the most intense thing.
Yeah. And then I started getting all these reels about people getting Karol G tickets, and then I started sending it to you, like the one that like when you are in charge of getting the tickets, and she's like preparing.
See, that was me,
so
but I was
funny.
at the airport and not in front of a computer. I was on my phone.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's appreciated.
Is it?
It's
¿Tú crees? You don't seem like it.
¿Quién va?
So far, you, me, and we have one left who wants it
¿Qué quiere?
with interest.
For emotional labor.
Dude.
And stress.
Never again will I do that. So he luego is going to Karol G. Las dos empezamos a perrear en el asiento.
¿Y luego?
Y that's it. Thanks for listening. Me desahogué. Porque, qué intenso, Mari, ¿no entiendes? Me salieron más canas.
Híjole.
Yo ferrada a la juventud y mis canas acá levantando bandera. Que too much stress.
I gave up. La banderita blanca.
Sí.
¿Qué sigue?